ups and the downs like it's all just another test. Live by the rules like a fucking ref. I got respect in 100 sets. Too many chains need another chest. Playing no games if it wasn't chess. Cut from that cloth that you couldn't stretch. Cut from that circle you couldn't test. Heavily pressured and under stress, even though niggas ain't sure we was a mess. Honest attempt blame to the left. Judge a young nigga by their address. Left us no option, what they expect? Only thing we knew for sure is the bait is set. Fuck living basic, I'm taking risks. Fuck what they saying, I'm saying this. Don't waste your testament, don't make you rich, it don't mean nothing, so fuck them, let's make a grip. Double up, triple up, make assists. Ballin' so hard you can play a bitch. Lead to the lake if they wanna fish. Make sure them niggas around you stick to the script. It should be written in stone. You should come visit my zone. Don't take my word, double check all of my flows. Ask them how hustle got on, but fuck what you heard. This for who walk down that road. Sold everything but they sold. Third off the curb. Real niggas rich as you nerds. Address the whom and make it. Look, lot of niggas fail but I won't. Lot of niggas fold but I cope. Lot of niggas gone but I'm home. Lot of niggas off but I'm on. Lot of niggas lost on this road. Couple niggas gave up they goal. Gang of niggas traded they soul. But me I'm standing on 10 toes. Looking out my Benz window. Wonder where my friends all go. Scared to give my heart to this girl. Paranoid she gon' leave if my hands get low. Knowing that this game to be played, but I'm knowing that this game to be changed. I should be afraid of afraid. I'm just trying to live up to the meaning of my name. I'm just trying to live up to the niggas in my gang. I'm just trying to live up to my moment on the stage. I'm just trying to live up to the truth of my pain and the power that it gave me on the youth for today. I put a coupe in a safe, and I shoot from the waist. My time is money, and I ain't got a second for you flukes and you fakes.
How do you do for my walls? How do you do for my niggas? How do you do for my brother? I do that shit with my niggas, yeah. How do you do for my walls? How do you do for my niggas? How do you do for my brother? I do that shit
Sweet. Let's get it.
Taking trips more than often this month. When I call, he pulling up 2, 3 stream up. You ain't doing enough for the clan. How I feel if I gotta sit it down. How the fam gon' feel 120 in a euro, one hand on the wheel. I was just broke, ran through a quarter
Cool. Let's go hop into it. Let me see here. Yeah, we should be good. Cool. As usual. No? Little recap from... I thought I was going to be able to hop on the charts for a little bit yesterday, but I had to go to work early, so unfortunately wasn't able to show up on the charts yesterday. Right, so we never got to do a little Wednesday review of that setup. Right, so if we drop down to the 1 minute, right, took this setup, got about 6 3/4 handles in profit before getting stopped out. But nonetheless, right, we just came a little lower right before we started really working our way up into that 4-hour Sibi. You know, ended up purging that news high right after we purged the news low. And we had some pretty big ranges the past couple of days, right? I mean, look at yesterday. We wanted to see, right, price go through the Sibi. If you listen to my earlier videos earlier in the week and last week, right, wanted this to get traded through this Sibi. Look it, we did, and we created another busy, right? If price comes back down into this daily busy, right, want to see that get respected, shift to market structure, keep working our way up higher. Right, we just traded to, or actually just below this volume imbalance here. All right, so far we have some inefficiencies here. All right, already traded above yesterday's high. All right, but let's, all right, weekly solid too, passing the consequent encroachment of this wick. All right, passing this weekly Sibi, trading through it. Alright, so that's looking really nice. It looks like we're drawing towards, right, this swing high here, right, this high. That's what it looks like we're drawing towards. We drop down the 4 hour. Traded deeper into this 4 hour Sibi. And currently right now, we traded down into this 4 hour busy with another 4 hour busy here, right? And our short term low is right here. So where can we possibly draw towards? All right. We got some relatively equal highs here, right? And this high, this single high here, is inside the Sibi. So let's drop down to the lower time frames and see if, right, we can get a shift in market structure inside of these 4 hour busies. Let's see if that makes sense. Right. Well, also overlaps with this 1 hour busy right here, which is looking solid. Drop down to the 15 minute. No inefficiencies till we get down here. Right, and if we're kind of just looking at this overall move here, yeah, we haven't gone quite yet down to the 50%. But let's look at this little 15 minute here. Trading up to this 15 minute Sibi. Our last short term high we have is here. Also have some inefficiencies here, but right, we haven't traded down into this busy yet, right? And that overlaps with the Sibi as well. Right, so maybe we can keep drawing towards, right, some inefficiencies first before taking price higher. But other than that, we don't have any super obvious draws on liquidity here, right, which would be relatively equal highs inside of a imbalance, you know, a single high. Nothing too crazy. We have a, what's that, orange folder at 10 a.m. Right, but other than that, we have no red folder news. It's on the smaller time frame, but we do have these relatively equal lows here. Right, these guys right here. A minor sell side liquidity. Possible turning points, right, that we can see price want to retrace lower. This 15 minute Sibi here. Right. And the Sibi right here. Those are two areas, right? Possible shift to market structure lower, drawing towards those inefficiencies down here. which will also trade us down into equilibrium. All right, we also have the single low here. All right, and if that doesn't want to get tapped into, right, and we leave that open, we're probably still pretty bullish. And just sit on the hands, honestly. All right, there's no like 15-minute structure to go off of, or any like other significant imbalances. I mean, maybe right here, but this is like the 5-minute, you know. That's what I'm looking at right now. That's what I'm looking at right now. First day of macro here in about 6 minutes. We almost took out this short-term low here, but we just created relatively equal lows. Let's see if we want to take this high one more time. Right. Or we trade lower, trade below this short-term low here, and we have this fair value gap here. Also, that 15-minute candle just closed, and that wick, or the candle bodies, respected, right? The wick came outside, but the candle bodies, that 15-minute candle body respected that. Alright, so we did just trade below that this short-term low here. Let's see the range on this thing. Oh, that fits. That fits. How's that low-hanging fruit? Low-hanging fruit. Also fits in there. Yeah, I'd be willing to take that if it comes back up there. Right. Alright, so we got our low-hanging fruit is these relatively lows here. All right, that's what I'm going to be drawing towards. All right, we're inside that 15-minute SIBI. And if we look, we have the only thing that can kind of stop us, right? Potential reversal. We still have a lot of time on this current candle, but there is an inefficiency potentially here being created, and also a 15-minute inefficiency here. Alright, so those are the only possible turning points that I'll be watching. Let's see what price, right, is doing. Alright, but other than that, right at low-hanging fruit, at those relatively equal lows, which is just beyond that inefficiency. So let price do its thing. Right, we're in that 15-minute imbalance. It's a small little shift in market structure. So, you know, if it gets taken out and we get that second shift, that is also valid for me. Right, but look at the candle body so far, respecting that 1 minute. That 1 minute SIBI here. Alright, so let's see if we can get down, retrace, draw towards some relatively equal lows. And if we're going to draw to those relatively equal lows, more than likely, right, draw towards this single low here. Alright, we're trading back up into that 15-minute SIBI, which overlaps with this 1 minute SIBI here. Also trading back up into this up close candle here. Alright, with this candle, this current candle right here that we're on. Alright, we just traded back up into this up close candle. Alright, but I want to see the candle bodies still respect this 1 minute SIBI right here. Alright, we don't want to see it close, right, too far outside that 1 minute SIBI. Okay, we got it slightly outside, right? Painted slightly outside this 1 minute SIBI here with the candle bodies closures. Let's see if this next candle we can trade below it. Alright, we kind of don't want to see it hang out a lot outside of that 1 minute SIBI here. Alright, there we go. Just rip the band-aid off there. Let's see. Right, let's see if we get another shift. Right, if not, right, just call it a day. Right, but willing to take the risk on that. Right, little 1 minute SIBI, some low minor, you know, some minor sell side liquidity here. Right, trade us down further and trade to that 4-hour imbalance as well as that 15-minute imbalance. Let's see if we want to, if price wants to draw up into this 15-minute SIBI then. Right, or we just needed to take out that short-term high here before doing another shift in market structure.
Central state of mind, high crime rate. Homicide, hate gang banging to get you all day. Look at my face. Keep taking me higher and higher. Told Cali bounce the phone to the bar break. Don't you know that the devil is a liar? I know they'd rather see me down, put my soul in the fire. But we keep going higher, higher. Can you feel it? Pop back you lanes cause I'm sucker proof. Don't play no games, boy, I'm buster proof. Pop back you lanes cause I'm sucker proof. Don't play no games, boy, I'm
Let's see if we trade up into this 15-minute SIBI. Alright, or We just need to take out this high here before doing another shift in market structure lower.
I don't give a fuck where you niggas from. Throw you in your mouth, go and get a gun. Leave you slumped on the scene, that's a hit and run. Oh, y'all bloods now, oh, y'all crips now. Fuck it, I'm big draws, I'm Jake Prince now. I'm frontline wars, we can't fix now. Bought latex gloves, that's no prince now. If you broke bread, you got chip now. Couple things you can't buy inside this town. Loyalty, love, and respect. The niggas will extort you out your check. Bet you lanes, cause I'm sucker proof. Don't play no games, boy, I'm busted proof.
Shout out Tanya Trades and Riz for the little podcast they dropped. You know, she was talking about something that I can even catch myself doing, which is like after big moves, thinking that you're out of the move, you know? And, but if like, I mean, for me, my rules, right? If the low-hanging fruit gets purged, then it's invalid. But just, that kind of just reminds me of the mindset of like, we get some big displacements, right? In one direction. Kind of like we had earlier in the week. Right, purging that sell side like immediately that I wanted to get purged, but also like making sure, right, just because we're having some big moves doesn't mean like you missed the move, right? And just being patient, looking for, you know, for me personally, purge on liquidity and the overall where price wants to draw towards, right? Just like staying sharp, right? Not letting this big move affect you, and just, you know, waiting for your setup, you know, and not kind of like just throwing in the towel. Super, super crucial. Very good reminder.
I'm prolific, so gifted. I'm the type that's gon' go get it. No kidding. Breaking down a switch in front of your building.
Let's see within this. Let's see within this leg that we're trading in right now. Are we considered in that premium? Are we above that 50? Oh yeah, we are. No, we are. Around that 55.60. 55.60. Yep.
Listening to music at the Mayan ruins. True devotion on the bluest ocean. Cruising. My cultural influence, even revolution. I'm integrated vertically, y'all niggas blew it. They tell me hustle, dumb it down, you might confuse them. This ain't that weirdo rap you motherfuckers used to. Yeah.
Alright, possibly putting in a short-term low here. At this 9:55 a.m. candle. Alright, and if I want to see a displacement, right? If I want to draw price to draw lower, right? Because we're already now we've tapped into right just above that equilibrium. So right, if we're going looking for lower prices, that'd be considered a premium. Anything above that 50%. Alright, but just thinking overall, right? 15-minute Sibi up here. That's in a more deep premium. I mean, these are little 1 minute lows, right? So they're not super huge draws on liquidity. But nonetheless, right? There's absolutely liquidity right there. So let's see. We're in the first AM macro now. So let's see how we treat these little short-term highs here. We can get up into this 15-minute SIBI. All right, take out some buy-side liquidity.
Like they 40 and some change. Slowly in this game, all my homies is in pain. And Brody is the slang, but it don't mean he your brother. It don't mean you can trust him. It don't mean that he love you. And we was raised wrong, but we stayed strong. And when we kept it real, we got faked on. And when we showed up, we got flaked on. But why them niggas story getting cake homes? I bet my life I'm a dice shaker. Electric lights on a skyscraper. It's up and downs for a real nigga. But you'll be lame all your life, hater. Mac 10 in my black Benz. Show me signals of betrayal, can't be back friends. Long flights get my mind right. Victory to me is when you spend your time right.
Let's look how this week has also played out since Monday. Let's see here. Let's see here.
Regardless what you into, regardless what you've been through, I feel like I got to tell you, you got something to contribute.
There we go, taking out that short-term low. All right, creating this SIBI here. All right, if we leave that open and this fits within the range, I'll be willing to take that. If we leave that SIBI open. I want to see the candle body close on the lower portion. Right, the candle bodies. There we go. Not meant to be. See how it closes that in right there. Solid. There's that orange folder, right? 7 AM news that just dropped. Let's see us get up into this 15-minute SIBI here.
Now you up, huh? Make it hard to trust, huh? Got you fucked up, saying it was luck, huh? Pulling up, huh? Limo tent the trucks, huh? Open trust, huh? Then you fill them up, huh? Every time a nigga drop, it's real as fuck, huh? Every time you hit the road, you fill them up, huh? Whole city know that you became the one, huh? They seen it from the jump, huh? The pressure weigh a ton, huh? Especially where you come from. Every night, heavy price, but it's just the cloth you cut from. It's alright, it's just life if you want one. Learn to hold yourself down with a big gun. All these niggas playing tough, you gon' chip one. For these dollars a decade, you a risk one. Fuck it though, cause when you flat broke, you ain't nothing, bro. Seen a gang of rich niggas get comfortable.
Just gotta be patient. Let price do its thing. Still inside that first AM macro session. Let's wait till price gets up into that 15-minute SIBI, and then we can kind of take it from there. Cheese eggs in my hotel. Hustle sold out, nigga retail and wholesale. Me ballin' hurt your feelings. Oh well, all money in, I pull coattail, nigga. There we go. Up into that 15-minute SIBI. Alright, so watching that 15-minute, right? See how this candle closes. how it forms and closes. We also have some 15-minute SIBIs up here that are permissible. I didn't see those at first. Let me see. I think there's even a small one right there. Yeah. Right, so all that's right. We got some inefficiencies, volume imbalances, and inefficiencies there. So we'll be watching that. I mean, they're super small, but we're stacking sell side liquidity here, right? Relatively equal lows. We got some single lows there. These relatively equal lows, right? We just traded up into a premium. This 15-minute SIBI. You know, also consideration, right? With the timing is it's Friday, right? So we've had a pretty extended week, honestly. We've expanded to the upside quite a bit. Let's see if we can retrace a little bit into the range. All right, also being in consideration, right, on the higher time frames, overall bullish. So like, I mean, this setup is valid, absolutely, but just being in consideration, more times than not, right, we're gonna be looking for the long setups, right? More times than not. But we have our draw on liquidity here. Right, our draws on liquidity. Our areas that we're watching. Right, 15-minute SIBIs. Right, and then we're just waiting for price to shift. Pretty simple. Pretty simple.
Trying to go for something is that you ain't gonna, unless you know you're gonna really take the stance if I'm gonna die behind what I'm getting at right now.
I mean, also like another huge thing to note is I'm still finding out more about my own trading as well, right? Definitely not perfect. First time going through this futures funding thing, right? So, you know, I'm figuring it out along the way. But it's like you can't do that without experience and like making mistakes, and you know, definitely not afraid to make mistakes and get stopped out. I mean, there was a point in my trading where there was like never even a reaction to a fair value gap. You know, I would trade just shifts in market structure with no draws, and there would be no reaction for the fair value. It would just instantly get stopped out. You know, so do stop out hurt now? Honestly, not really. Right? It's kind of the same. The wins and losses, try to stay, you know, pretty at equilibrium. You know, and there was points with like long duration of time of just getting stopped out over and over again, you know, for many trades. So getting stopped out now, it's like not a big deal, you know. Learning lessons, chalk it up. I mean, it's just a business expense, right? We know with like, I know within a long enough time horizon, right? The stop outs are so minuscule compared to 10 handle runs. All right, it's so small. It's so small within the business. So, you know, just part of the game. It doesn't end the game, right? Since we have good risk management, right? We're not getting blown accounts. I mean, maybe the EA accounts, right? But like the account price is so low that it's less leverage than, you know, starting a personal account, a bigger personal account. So it's worth it just to put them on for one trade setup. for me personally, right, with the amount of capital that I have available to allocate, right, and just looking at my edge play long term, with a lot of failing, it still makes sense to do one trade per, right, on the EA account. Try to pass it in one trade, full leverage. Maybe it's different in the future, but like for the foreseeable future, right, that makes the most sense. All right, there we go. We just took out this short-term low here. That's like a, what's it called, low resistance liquidity run, where it doesn't take out that high. All right, so let's see if it leaves open this fair value gap. All right, if we can get a closure on the lower portion of this short-term low here, and we leave this open here, right, or if we close it. That fits right there. Alright, we traded up into that 15-minute imbalance. Yep, that fits in perfectly if we leave that open. Right. If it gets left open, alright, I'd be willing to take that. And, you know, if we get stopped out, it's all good. That just means I'm offside for today, which, like, I'm totally okay with, you know, making that area a little bit smaller. Let's see if we fully close it in here or if we leave it open. Oh, let's see here. There we go. I'd be willing to take that. Alright, we'll try one more time. We're in that upper 15-minute imbalance now. Alright, we got some relatively equal lows. And got that lower time, that lower draw. Alright, lower price draw. Already traded up into that 15-minute imbalance. We got one more stab at it. All right. All right, if we're looking at inefficiencies, all right, we have a small little volume imbalance here, all right, but that inefficiency now is below our 10 handles, right? So if we get a possible turning point, all right, we should be in the clear there. All right, we already traded up into this first 15-minute CB. 15-minute candle body is, you know, we got three and a half minutes left on this 15-minute candle closure. But so far, we're not inside that 15-minute CB still. So looking solid. You know, get this guy over. This is formed just inside that first AM macro as well. All right, but want to see displacement below this short-term low here. All right. That'll give me more confidence that we're on side. All right, if we can get displacement below this short-term low. All right, we got some relative equal lows there. I mean, all these are just relatively equal lows here, right? And we have that 15-minute imbalance down here, so.
asked me where I'm from, I told him I ain't bang, he didn't listen, so I gave him one. Knocked us a diddy one. Nigga tried to hit him up. Now he wanna get him up, set it up and wait it up. Now I'm from the hood, checking niggas on the daily. Started off BG, OG, baby. Real life homie, 2 heaters in my seat. Had to check a nigga at the Compton swap meet. Where you from? I don't bang. Where you live? Where you hang? Say the wrong thing, then bang. Lights out, kites out to the homies in the pen. Crippin' in the city, we ain't letting cuz in. A lot of niggas camouflage, try to blend in to fit in. Get a hood rat so they can sit in. But if she got a brother, a daddy, or a cousin, they hit your ass up like a motherfucker. Where you from, cuz? What they call you, where you from, nigga? In my city, that was question number 1, nigga. Looking at the legend I become.
Right, if we were to get that displacement below the short-term low, right, that would be like another shift inside the shift in market structure, which would be, you know, for me personally, that would be more confident, right? Leave that little sibby, right? It's like a shift in market structure inside of a shift in market structure. All right, with our draws on liquidity down here, low hanging fruit down here. All right, but we got some relatively equal lows here and a 15-minute imbalance down here. All right, so we should be able to draw down there. All right, short-term premium, 15-minute sibby. And yeah, either gonna hit the TP or hit the stop loss, one or the other, but nothing left to do on my end, right? Nothing left to do on my end, except sit, be patient, let price do its thing. Right, those 1-minute candle bodies respecting this 1-minute sibby here. All right, but want to see that displacement. Oh, want to see that displacement lower, right below the short-term low. In regards to timing, right, we're about 15 minutes away from that 10:30 turn. Got no more news, right? This was actually a news low here, right? So there's also liquidity down there.
I'm the streets voice out west, legendary self-made progress. Last time that I checked, first you get the money, then respect, and the power and the hoes come next. Last time that I checked, I've been self-made from the dribble. I was been saying I'm a killer. Nah, playing no games with you niggas. Pop clutch, switch lanes on you niggas. Nah, I laid down the game for you niggas. Taught you how to charge more than what they paid for you niggas. On the whole thing for you niggas. Reinvest, double up, then explain for you niggas. It gotta be love. Run the city, it gotta be cut.
We're looking at the, right, this is a 2-minute busy here. So far we're still respecting that. Right, it's kind of like that only 1-minute shift in market structure. All right, so let's see if we could lead to some other shifts in market structure, get some displacement. 5-minute has no imbalances, right, until we get down here. Alright, painting outside the lines here. Looks like we want to revisit this 15-minute sibby one more time.
I don't stress out, nigga. Poke my chest out, nigga. Wait on my show to bring the best out, nigga.
Trading up into that high, and there we go. Just like that. That's 2 on the day. I mean, that's enough for me, right? Try to take 2 shots. I mean, that's a part of the business, you know? I'm just off sides today, which I'm totally okay with. And, I mean, just managing the risk. Managing the risk. That's like the most important thing. Right? That capital preservation. Right, that's enough to tell me, you know, it's okay. I may rather preserve the capital than, right, keep trying to push my bias, my narrative on the market. You know, it's fine. It is completely okay to be right, not on side, right? Not on side. All good. Right. All good. All right, we're still preserving capital. Still preserving capital. All right, trading back up. We're going a little bit deeper. Maybe we want to draw up into this 15-minute SIBI up here, right? Volume imbalance. Little SIBI up there as well. All right. What's interesting too, right, is we're not trading down into any of these busies, right, and doing a shift in market structure. Right, we're just kind of trading up higher, right? We didn't get any shifts in market structure for the longs. We're kind of just trading up higher, filling some inefficiencies in, right? Normally I would want to, if like opposing, right, the opposing side, which, right, I'm trying to go short here, the opposing side of the longs, you know, I would anticipate that we'd get some shifts in market structure longs, right? But we didn't get any of that here, right? No obvious shifts in market structure to go long. We're just kind of trekking our way up, right? Not really revisiting any busies. Right, we revisit this one here, but kind of just working our way up higher, right? Not revisiting any of the 15-minute busies, right? No shifts in market structure in there, so, you know, willing to accept the risk. Willing to accept the risk.
Such a long, long time. Looks like I get you off of my mind, but I can't. Just the thought of you.
All right, let's check out the NAS. Let's check out the NAS. Let's see if it had any shifts in market structure higher. Oh, damn, NAS looks a little different than ES for sure. Oh, Dow too. Alright, but let's check out the NAS. Let's check out the NAS. Yeah, nothing too crazy going on. Just didn't have those same shifts in market structure for lower prices. All right. Or this one might have lined up right here. This 43 SIBI. Yeah. All right. But those are my two setups. You know, sometimes, you know, just on side, and like, honestly, for me, I mean, that's totally okay. There's so many opportunities, you know, and the capital preservation allows you to stay in the game for such a long time. You know, it's crazy that even the first funded futures account that I have, right, is still it's barely, right? We're talking about like $80, but it's still in profits from all those, right? From all those wins that I took when I first started the funded account. You know what I mean? So it's like even then, it's like that capital preservation allows you to stay in the game even after so many losses, you know? And it doesn't take that many losses to recuperate, right? To recuperate here, right? This is, right? This was only 3.5 handles and 4.25, right? So those combined only, what is that? 7 and 3 ticks in stop losses, right? And you know, minimum every single time is 10 handles. So it's like one trade pays for that and some, and pays for another one. So it's like when I had those, when I have a trade that takes profit, you know, it buys a lot of more tokens to take other trades. That's the way I kind of look at it. It's right. If we're taking, you know, stop outs here, right? Only takes a few dubs to, right, get back to break even and even into profits. So it's like even then it's still, I mean, capital preservation so key, right? So key for me personally, you know. So a little quick update like on the accounts, right? We have the first funded account still in profits. I mean, it's only $80, but it's still in profits. I don't know. I checking the Apex website too. I don't know if the trailing drawdown went to the break-even balance or let me see here. It might be at the break-even balance, so we might be about $80 from failing that first funded account. But all the other ones still have some drawdown room, I believe. Let me check here real quick. Yeah, I want to say they have about 1K on one of the accounts. Oh yeah, more than 1K, like 2K, just because of that trailing drawdown rule. But nonetheless, I mean, that capital preservation, right? You could take a lot of hits, right? And right, combine this with frequency of trading. That's like another super key thing to look out for, right? When I'm thinking about like developing how much I want to risk per setup, right? I'm looking at frequency of trading, right? Usually I don't take that many trades within the month, you know. It's just a handful, literally a handful, less than 5 trades probably within the month, right? Just depending on the opportunities that are being presented. So like knowing that, like I risk a 0.5% right now, but it's always a 0.5% is taking a full 5 handle stop out, or 0.5%. That's taking a full handle stop out. So when I'm able to shorten up stop losses like this, right, it's not taking a 0.5. So it's like combine that with low frequency of trading. I mean, I think this is definitely a no-brainer for like the appropriate amount of risk, 0.5% per setup, right? Because it's never even 0.5%, right? Even this one's like 4.25, right, handles. So, you know, combine that with low frequency, I think 0.5% is more than doable to let the edge play out in the long run, right? To let the edge play out in the long run. Alright, so we got a couple stop outs. Not the end of the world. I mean, it's just a part of the game, honestly. It's just a part of the game. You know, there's thousands of trades that you're going to take within your trading career. I mean, these are just some of them. All right, these are just some of them. Right? Because you got to think, right? I think at one point earlier this year, I want to say in Let's check it out here. Let's check it out here. Let's check it out. All right, I want to say, what was it in? Yeah, what was that? I mean, didn't have a losing month within the first 6 months of the year, right? First down close month for me personally was last month, July. So it's like I stacked up a lot of tokens in the beginning of this year to, you know, be able to afford some losses, right? Combine that with, you know, the probabilities of just getting to payout. That's what I'm really looking at, right? What I'm really looking at here. So we'll see. We'll see. Stoked, right? That I'm creating this like long ledger of trading, recording the sessions, you know? So that'll be sick to look back at later. You're gonna be like, it's either gonna be looking back in hindsight, that was the right thing to do, or the wrong thing. I mean, but it's all like learning lessons, right? Experience, right? It's so crucial, right? I'm not afraid to fail, right? I'm not afraid to fail at all. I'm definitely not afraid to take losses. So, you know, it's all good. It's a part of the game. These are a part of the game. You know, it's like knowing myself, knowing when to stop, right? I don't need to push the button any more times after this, right? This is just telling me, you know what? You're a little offside today, right? Which is completely fine, you know, because some days, right, completely onside, right? I think this was the day that we were targeting those relative equal lows. Let's see here. Was it here? No. Oh, right here. Right? Targeting the sell side, immediately goes for it. Then we get that shift to market structure for a value gap, right? You know, so it's like all a part of the game. And what's juicy, what is super juicy is that we have FOMC minutes next week, right? Which is like anything in regards to FOMC, right? Those are like favored days to trade, literally favored days to trade, right? So it's like there's a lot of, we got FOMC minutes next week, some unemployment claims, some 9:45 a.m. news, red folder, and we got Powell speaking next Friday, 10 a.m. All right, so we got a few red folders going on, so plenty of opportunities to come. I don't need a. It's interesting when I hear people talk about the getting back to break even. I've never kind of understood that, like a rush to go back and like put the accounts in profits. Right? How does that make sense? I feel like you're just chasing something, right? When like you make money by taking like good setups and managing risk. So like, how does more trading equal more money? You know, it just doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You know, you're taking high quality setups within your niche time. Right, your niche time frame. This one was just at the start of the first AM macro, right? And this one was near the end of that first macro, right? So, right, knowing when to lay off, right? Offsides today, I mean, all good. You know, it happens. It happens, you know. And this, I feel like, is more difficult market to trade in general, right? Just given the news and the high volatility, you know. But nonetheless, the market's still doing the same thing. You know, a little offsides today, which I mean that's cool with me. I could just pay for 2 stop outs and like, you know, stop losses are doing its job. right? Because imagine being exposed to all this extra risk here, right? Just like forcing your bias on the market. That's a day that you just like blow the account, literally. You'll just be blowing the account. Then how are you gonna trade if you just blow your account? I mean, you're just DQ'd from the game. You know? All right, getting some displacement below this short-term low here. All right. All right. Watching how this fair value gap gets respected. All right, we've built up so much sell side liquidity. Right, we haven't purged any of this sell side liquidity. Right, all just resting here. All resting sell side liquidity as we've taken a decent amount of buy side liquidity and traded up into some inefficiencies, right? Some 15-minute SIBIs. Right, so anticipating some retracement, but like if we don't get any retracement, maybe we're just that bullish, which I mean is possible, but right, there's a lot of sell side liquidity stacked up right here. We just purged our highs again, traded deeper into that 15-minute imbalance. Right, so anticipating, right, just watching, reading, right, that 1 minute SIBI right here. Right, we got, let's see, we trade into a little, oh, we just formed a little 15-minute busy here. Right. Right, but I'm not gonna force myself onto the market, right? And you know, force this bias. You know, it could just be stacking liquidity for later. But right, this one's looking really good. Right, we got a strong body closure below this low and this low, so it's looking pretty nice. Right, would want to see this get respected. See. Also like a 2 minute, oh, we just closed that in, never mind. All right, but it had that open at first, a little 2 minute shift in market structure, but end up closing it. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Yeah, first one would retrace back into first 15-minute busy. Interesting that we made relatively equal lows with this short-term low here. And lows are being protected for the most part. But yeah, that's about it. We're coming to that end of the session that I like to watch. All right. We'll check back in tomorrow. Oh, on Monday. No price action tomorrow. Be back on for Monday. And do a little recap. Right? See what price did. Watch this this 1 minute SIBI. Alright, and hope everybody has a good weekend. Appreciate everybody for tuning in and following along for this crazy journey called trading. And until Monday, peace out.